Hello, Baylor family. Welcome back to another PEC week. Today, once again, Tuesday, Baylor Overwatch. Now, it's going to be a very exciting day, mainly because last week, I believe, was the major Overwatch revamp that just happened, where not only were there many lore implications to the game, but there were also the release of 5 new characters. If I remember correctly, they were one new poke tank by the name of Domina, Emre, a new DPS character. There was also the reveal, or not the reveal, but the official release of Amran, a fire DPS, and 2 new support characters. One that you're actually going to see on my screen while we wait for the invitation to lobby, Jetpack Cat and Mizuki. Both have been or all of these characters actually have been dominating both quick play and competitive. So I believe that the PEC guidelines actually allow these characters to be played unless they're banned as already made in the rule set. But I believe that both Baylor University and Kansas are going to use all of these new characters to their fullest abilities, especially as they are both highly overpowered and practically give you the best win rate scenario than most characters at the moment. In the meantime, as always, I am going to introduce our roster, which, unfortunately for the moment, I, again, still don't have all the pictures yet, but just for simplicity's sake, and just so I can actually give out the full name of everyone, I'm going to use the list that I have here on Discord, and I'm going to use their gamer tags while we get those photos taken care of. So, as team captain, we have Ryan Costa. For DPS, for support, we have Ben Radic, Foxbox Talk CTV, and we also have Praise the Kiwi. For tank, we have Slug, who, again, is that very fantastic Hazard character, or Hazard player. Very fine player. And for DPS, we finally have Maz, Jaden Booth, Lila Synchros, and finally Sterling Turlinator. So, we are very excited to be, again, playing against Kansas. Hopefully, everything goes real well in that situation. At the moment, we are just waiting for the last bits of confirmation between Kansas, the actual lobby creation, and that should be it at this point. I mean, there shouldn't be any other things that we have to worry about. At the moment, everyone's available. There should be no kinds of substitutions that I'm hearing about. In this day and age, I mean, I guess we might as well give a good representation of these new characters. So, that's one of the characters that I mentioned that is both very adorable, but also very humiliating if you play against them. Jetpack Cat. Her name is Fika, and long story short, basically a stray. Turned up in the Gibraltar station in Overwatch and was basically just kind of accepted into the family. And you know what? For it being a cat, very cute. Very cute animations, very cute voice lines that the cat has. Their abilities, one of the most fun abilities that I think this game has introduced is the tether feature, where you can basically have a lifeline between a teammate of yours and carry that teammate across the map. You do not know how many times I've encountered a flying Bastion in turret mode, and it is the worst thing to deal against. Another character that we have is Mizuki. Mizuki being allied with the Hashimoto clan in Japan. Very notorious gang, especially if you know the Overwatch lore. While many have noted that he isn't that strong of a character in most of his abilities, there is one ability in specific that is actually very useful, and that is his tether ability. Now, what this ability does is that it basically traps you and eliminates your mobility. So high mobility characters such as Diva, Doomfist, all of those kinds of characters are basically stuck and can't do anything to defend themselves, at least for that short period of time while they're there. Very useful if you know how to do that tether mechanic. Otherwise, it could be half and half. Emre, one of the new DPS characters that basically kind of functions as a Call of Duty character, not gonna lie. The lore about him is that he was first an Overwatch agent, a real good one at that, and unless it's to my understanding, He just basically disappeared and then resurfaced, but kind of with a new personality. And as you can see by this eye here in the middle, it basically may just be that he is being hijacked by some sort of artificial intelligence. As I said, he is basically a Call of Duty character, so he has a scoped in mechanic. He also has a sidearm, grenades, and his special or his ultimate is basically you fly in the air and you have two kinds of shot: a charge burst that is very high in damage, or short range launches that again short duration, but at least you can fire them multiple times. Personally, out of all the characters, that's the one that I've been having a lot of fun with. Um, and then, of course, this character we've already kind of known about, both in gameplay and in controversy, unfortunately. Gameplay-wise, she is a fire DPS that basically multiplies the damage caused by burning damage. She, in the lore, basically graduated from the Wuxing University's Fire College and is actually the sister of an already known character of Wu Yang. So she has a very special ultimate, which actually divides itself into two. One of them is that she can self-revive at will. If you have an unsuspecting enemy team and you die, you can actually come back from the ashes, cause explosive damage, and essentially be able to eliminate the whole team if done correctly. The other one is the fact that she actually rises like a phoenix and launches down to the enemy position, again causing more fire damage to anyone caught in the impact radius. And then finally, the new tank character, Domina. Now, lore-wise, she is part of the Vishkar Corporation, which many will know is what's it called? Is known especially for Symmetra and Lifeweaver. She basically has the ability to create shields and is very effective at a medium range playstyle. Her gun is actually one of the most unique in the fact that it's a ray of light in the beginning 2 seconds, but the final shot is a burst, which, if done correctly, can essentially reduce a squishy's health by, I want to say, 65%. And her ult basically creates a barrier into enemy teams that, if applied enough damage, actually explode and cause massive amounts of damage. Very fun to play with, very hard to play against. All of these characters, I will say. And they have been dominating the new update. Apart from this rework, there are also sub-roles. You can see here that Domina has one called Stalwart. Malga has one that's called Bruiser. Winston has Initiator. All of these characters, apart from their roles of tank, damage, and support, now have sub-roles. And each sub-role actually gives some kind of perk that's already imbued to the character. So this is already going to be a very interesting game today, because it's just so much information now that you have to take in, because it's not only, okay, they're playing this character, this is how they're going to play. Because now you have to think, okay, apart from the perks that they're already going to choose, what is the sub-role that they already have? When are they going to revive? When are they going to put a shield? All of these things new to these characters are very important things to look out for now that people are starting to play more and more. And just a little small detail about how this is going, really. This game, before the update, I don't really know the player statistics, because Battle.net and consoles don't really do much. But after this update was announced, the player count on Steam hit its maximum peak that it ever had. And that accounts for, I believe, 20 or 30% of the Overwatch population. Battle.net being, I think, another 30 or 20, and then consoles being, I think, another majority. I may be wrong on that, but for example, even Xbox noted that the player count for Overwatch apparently went up 99%, meaning that this game, along with the many new features, whether that is the story mode that they're implementing, every new season having some bits of lore passed down, this new event where you get to choose being a talent agent or an Overwatch agent, and just in general, these new characters have brought life back into Overwatch. Alongside that, I mean, all I have to say is Overwatch has been on the up and up again because um, the CECC, they are having their esports finals in Waco, Texas, and one of the big things that Baylor participated in was the Big 12 tourney in order to qualify for that cup. Unfortunately, sad to say that the winning university in that qualifier was not Baylor, it was not Cincinnati, it was not UCF, it was Kansas, who are our actual rivals today. Um, if you saw that no P that POV no commentary Twitch stream that happened a few weeks ago, that was Baylor Academy's perspective in that qualifier, and Kansas just ultimately decimated the Academy team. So now the real question is, in PECC, I believe Kansas is 5-5 in Overwatch. So it's not like they're having such a good run in PEC, and they may be a little bit more, shall we say, demoralized with the situation. Now, can it be winnable? I mean, any game in this game is winnable. So obviously the majority of the situations that we have to fix fall on us, but excuse me, this could be something that could be a change, because I believe by spring break, or maybe the week after spring break for us, which is March 5th through March 9th, I believe, that will be the final week for PEC, and then it would be the in-person finals at LAN Las Vegas. So it's this could be a turning point for specifically Overwatch at Baylor. But well, I mean, again, we'll just have to wait and see. In other news, apart from the Big 12 qualifier, Baylor Esports actually participated in the Hawaii Invitational by Vanta Esports, where I don't know much about what happened really, because I unfortunately wasn't able to watch most of the content portrayed by that Twitch channel. However, what I can say is thank the Lord that the Rocket League varsity team actually won the championship of the Hawaii Invitational. Uh, give me a second here. There we go. Super Smash Brothers, at least with Cruz, I believe went, if I remember, it was either 2-2 or 4-4. So we went neutral there. I don't have that much information about solos, but at least we were able to win in the Rocket League championship, which, if just for the context, the Hawaii Invitational had the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I believe that's where their campus is called. Boise State, Syracuse, Michigan State. There was definitely some other universities here that I'm blanking out and I can't really remember, but basically we fought against some very top contender PEC rivals here, and we were able to beat them at the Hawaii Invitational. So real nice results that we got over the weekend. And if by the way, if you really want to follow any updates, anything like that, like how we were mentioning the Invitational and seeing our players in action, please follow the Baylor Esports Twitter account. That's where you'll get most of the information about our schedules, if any changes happen, and stuff like that. Fun little photos about our invitational experiences and being out of campus, etc. So please follow the Twitter. That's again at Baylor Esports. And I think that's about it, I'm pretty sure. Finally in the lobby, we are just now waiting to see what is going on here. As you can see, most of the Baylor team is actually ready. Kansas is unfortunately missing 2 players. I mean, we have enough for potentially swaps, but we'll just see what happens here. Oh, okay. I have no context to what that was. Let me read that again. It's 2 seconds a person. Okay, that's interesting. But it looks like we might have everyone available for this tourney. Um, it's going to be very interesting. The set of maps and bands that are going to be chosen right now. Um, especially with these new heroes that were just added to the game. Otherwise, um, yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see here. Again, I don't really have access to the Twitch uh, comments at the moment, and I don't even see most people here. Um, we're just gonna wait and see what happens. In other in other gaming related news, two things really stuck out to me about the new update that just dropped. The first one being lore wise, Doomfist is missing. I'm not gonna say dead. I'm just gonna say missing. Um, if anyone saw the video that dropped, during the announcement of the Overwatch reworks, Vendetta usurped Doomfist and became the leader of Talon, and has actually taken over much of what Talon already controlled, plus more. In fact, I think in the story right now, Overwatch and Talon are heading toe to toe. If we ever see Gibraltar here, which is the main station that Overwatch operates on, you are going to see a very destroyed map because of what is going on between Talon and Overwatch. Um, the other thing that also stuck out to me was the backlash of Amran, who, again, if anyone saw the Wu Yang story trailer, or the cinematic, you would see that the model that they use for Amran there, and then compared to her in-game model, is vastly different, and that got into a little bit of a controversy, something that Overwatch has had too much of. But it was confirmed by the developers of the game that they would change the model of Amran, which, uh, in my opinion, right, no matter what happens in regards to what game developers do or how they decide to do their things, it always strikes me odd where they don't listen to their community. And here are two perfect examples. Paramount with Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, where they had to rework Sonic's model because it was too realistic. That was such a good choice that it actually helped them create more of the Sonic franchise in the movies. And I'm pretty sure that Overwatch, listening to their community here, not only in the fact of the new characters, in the rework of Amaran's model. I mean, all of these things, sure, they might be extra work for the developers, but it is for the good of the community because they make it feel like they are being heard, they are being listened. And so, personally, I'm pretty sure that despite the rocky launch of this game, especially over the weekend where there was such mass hysteria with the servers not working correctly, it's all going to be for the better. Now, it looks like Kansas and Baylor are ready, so we are looking to see the first ban of the game. And it looks like we're going to start on Oasis, which is a very interesting choice. I don't think these previous days we've started on Oasis. It looks like Kansas is still deciding what characters to ban. Uh, 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 I'm just gonna think this out while they're trying to get these bans. Um, if we were trying to ban something from them, my bad, I would more than likely say ban. Oof, okay, Oasis and the fact that these new characters are gonna come in. I would say Jetpack Cat because of the lifeline feature and his ultimate, which is basically the tethering of enemies and then dropping them at distant points of the map. Torbjorn, that's okay. I can see why, especially with the awkward angles that you can put the turrets at. I don't think that's a very useful ban. I think Baylor is gonna be fine regarding this Torbjorn ban. Now, I think, because I'm pretty sure. Okay, banning Zarya. Okay, this is gonna be a good question. I don't remember if the tank player for Kansas is a Zarya player. If they are, then it's a perfect ban because then that means they have to play with the character that they don't what's it called? That they don't necessarily play very often. So we'll see what happens here. You will have to excuse me, by the way, if I take long pauses. Not only am I very thirsty, especially talking to myself during this stream, but I've also haven't had anything for dinner yet due to studying and everything, so please bear with me. Oh! My bad. Okay, it looks like these new characters are not actually going to be played. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Okay. My apologies. Apparently, the new 5 characters will not be played in the PEC. Now, I don't really know how long it's going to take between them being actually able to play. I want to say that it might just be 2 weeks, because that's what most other Overwatch Collegiate leagues do, but we'll see. Anyways, Soviet Lemon as Hazard, Costa going in as Reaper, Maz going in as McCree, Radic going in as Baptiste, and Praise the Kiwi going as Juno. Starting with a very good teleport tech here. Maz trying to get the high ground, and it already looks like we're going to a good start. I mean, it looks like most of the team is discombobulated. All going to the left side of the map. Should be easy pickings from there, especially after getting that Ashe. Perfect. Getting the enemy tank is always a good idea. And always just a fascinating move whenever you accomplish it. And we capture the first point of Oasis. Now, we're gonna obviously try our best at defense, but I think most of our players here are fired up and ready to win some games. Enemy team going with Orisa as tank, Vendetta as DPS, McCree as another DPS, and Brigida and Juno for supports. It looks like, even though that they are doing some good plays in terms of their actual lineup, I don't think that they're actually doing much in regards to healing. I'm saying this by Kansas, right? Because I just noticed that the Orisa was practically low health for a good majority of that. I don't know if that is just Hazard being able to place down his barriers at the correct angles, not allowing the supports to heal their teammates, but I mean, we are able to at least get a good percentage here in the point. Costa getting eliminated, but Soviet Lemon at least able to get some kind of support elimination. And even though that the enemy team gets to the point, we're able to at least use our ults, and we might actually get some picks here. We were able to get the McCree And our McCree actually has Deadeye ready, so as long as he can get to some good vantage points, he might actually be able to pull out a real good ultimate here. Costa also ready with Death Blossom. You just have to teleport at the right time. Enemy Orisa going in for ult, able to eliminate both one DPS and one support. This just leaves Costa and tank and support, but it doesn't look like we were able to hold up. We were just having to push back and back. Going back into the fray, this means that we only have two ultimates going with Costa and McCree. Now Costa over here going to the side, maybe trying to get some kind of flanking maneuver in order to put that ult to good use. And here we have Maz going for the ult, and he just wasn't able to do much. That Orisa is half, possibly even lower. They can die, but that Vendetta just pulls up to the side and eliminates one of our DPS. At this point, you might try to use Death Blossom, but at this point it's not worth it anymore, considering most of the enemy team is just either gone or dead. Save that ult for the next team fight, which, if everything goes well, might just be the last team fight to cap the point. And here we have the enemy team going to the right side. It might just be the... Okay, here we go. I heard that teleport somewhere. Never mind. I don't know about that. I don't like the fact that he solo ulted the Vendetta on the roof, but you know what? It's fine. We are able to at least get some percentage. We are going into overtime. Orisa uses her ult, but it doesn't look like it's going to do much. Vendetta also using their ult. Death Blossom was utilized, but it doesn't do much damage to the enemy team. That was just a Baylor annihilation. I mean, or would it be Kansas annihilation? I'm not an English major. We're gonna have to try and touch. If we don't touch, that is unfortunate. We are not able to touch. That just leaves us with Kansas getting the first point, which is very disappointing, as we were both toe-to-toe in, at least in the percentage for the point.
Ready for battle.
No move.
I could do this on my own. Probably faster too.
The regions of Earth are so varied, but one human lifespan is not enough to see it all.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And here we go, round 2 of Oasis.
Capture the objective.
Teleport was utilized, which interesting change actually by Soviet Lemon, who is deciding to go as Junker Queen. Personally, I've enjoyed Junker Queen now more than ever this past competitive season. Very fun to play, especially with the knife. I mean, especially when you land the hits and whoa, those ragdoll physics were not kind to our tank. That is just not a team kill, but practically is one, considering the support is the only person that actually lived through that. Okay, and going back to Hazard with Soviet Lemon. And here we have Vendetta on the side, maybe trying to go for... ooh, that Vendetta might be dug in too deep. They are very low. The Vendetta is down. The Orisa can probably die here. I mean, they're very low. The only thing protecting them is some few supports and their gold. And the enemy Orisa using their ult, but it doesn't look fruitful. Costa going in on a roll trying to get these characters down, and they were successful. If the Vendetta just died a little bit later, this would have been the same team kill that Baylor experienced, just reversed. Now Baylor giving that team kill. And here we have two of our players already ready with their ults. Moss would probably be smart to put themselves in the high ground to at least have some kind of cover for their ult. Radic here, Baptiste using Window to try to make some good damage against these enemy team members. That is not our McCree. That is a warning to Baylor that you should not go out right now. And thankfully they listened to their instinct and they were not eliminated by the McCree. Unfortunately though, that Vendetta is also going on a roll. And can this tank survive? They were very close to dying there. But at least they were able to recuperate with the team and they are now pushing forward. Maz over here still with their ult. Praise the Kiwi about to get their orbital ray ready for use. Even though, yikes, that Vendetta just dives in and just tries to eliminate everyone. At this point, if Baylor can, what they must do is just try to get a touch at point. If they do not get a touch at point, this is going to be game over and it's going to go for Kansas. At 95%, it looks like we might be able to do this. Everyone is not concentrated on the point. The only one that is, it's just Vendetta. It would be funny to just solo them, but that you're the only one available on your team. So at this point, you did as much as you could. At the beginning, you were toe-to-toe, but Kansas victorious over Baylor in the control point map of Oasis.
Play of the game.
And Orisa with, again, the devastating graphics of ragdoll physics that happened with our Junker Queen. That basically was the play game for not only that perfect javelin throw, but also just the entire wipe of the Baylor team. Now, with PEC regulations, of course, this means that since Baylor lost the game, not only do they have map pick, but they also have the first hero ban. So let's see what Costa decides as team captain. I believe I need to look up the rule book, but I'm not certain if there is a specific timeline of which mode to use, or if it could be up to the discretion of whoever is picking the map. But I believe for now... Alright, we're going with a hybrid game mode on King's Row. And who will be the hero ban here? If the new characters are not going to be played, then I would think a good hero ban is either, I want to say Ashe or Mei. Ashe, because she doesn't have that much mobility apart from her ability, but especially with the angles that are on this map, you can get some very heavy dominations here. And Costa decides to go with a Lucio ban, which I understand why. Very tight corners. I mean, that Lucio could just wall ride all the time and never die, but I really don't know if that's the best decision there. Now we're going to wait and see what Kansas decides to ban. Reminder with regulations that once a character is banned, whoever's the next team to ban a character cannot ban the same role. So in this case, we banned a support character. Therefore, the next hero that must be banned can only be a tank or DPS character. And we are still waiting to see what is the Kansas ban. Still a lot of debate about what ban this should be. I don't know if at this point the ban is mainly pertained to what we are playing and who played best, or what. Okay. I apologize for the expletive. In the meantime, again, apologies for the expletive. That should not have, that is not professional. I don't remember who said it, but bad manners for you. And may the Lord forgive. But we'll see. I'll wait for whatever they decide on in a bit. Okay. I don't know if they already did their ban or if they're just talking nonsense still in the chat. In the meantime, I'll wait so that expletive can finally remain off screen, and we'll see what happens, right? Nope. Hopefully everyone in the chat has had a very good day. Hopefully classes are going well. I know midterms are soon, but spring break is coming. We all want to be in spring break already. And at least for me, I mean, April and May are going to be okay. Nope. At least for me, April and May are going to be some very stacked months. First of all, the best part is that in April 1st or 3rd, I believe, I don't really remember, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is coming out, and I'm sorry, but that game is from my childhood, and I am so excited to watch it. And the other big thing is that from April, I don't remember if April's ends with the 30th or 31st. From April 31st, I believe, to May 3rd, not only is the Texas State Middle School and High School Esports Finals taking place at the Welcome Center in the Herd, the CECC Finals are happening in Waco, Texas, in the Convention Center. So that little time frame, you're going to see a bunch of esports happening in Waco, Texas. We are very excited to have not only the high schoolers and middle schoolers of the great state of Texas, but also from internationally. We are about to see teams from all over the United States, Canada, and I believe some from Mexico, if they do get into those finals, compete in Waco, Texas. And we are very glad to have them here. Okay. Here we go. So, reminder, Baylor University is deciding to ban Lucio. Kansas is deciding to ban Widowmaker, which Widowmaker kind of goes along with the idea that I had for Ashe, the fact that with her angle, she can get some devastating shots, especially if you're going for headshots. Otherwise than that, once the screen actually comes back, perfect. So Kansas is going for the offense while Baylor University goes on the defense. Also, can I point out, I don't know if this is part of the PEC regulations or not, but ever since the new season kicked, there have been multiple versions of maps that I haven't seen or I haven't played frequently on. For example, King's Row, always at nighttime. I've always played this at nighttime, and it is so weird to see it in the middle of the day. But, you know, it happens. Another thing, right? Lijiang Tower, it is going through the Lunar New Year festivities, which is nighttime, but it also adds a more festive look to the game. Especially with the fireworks in the distance and all the lanterns, giving it some nice touches.
5, 4.
Alright, so Baylor University going in with Hazard, Mei, McCree, Ana, and Juno. And here we have the first fight of the game. Enemy Zarya able to be walled off successfully by our Mei. This could be perfect. But it doesn't look like much was able to do. They were able to break through the wall pretty fast, and they were actually able to get some height off of that. Making it so that Baylor is now, they're the ones being cornered instead of Kansas. So yeah, that high ground superiority is going to afflict all of our team here. And even though our Hazard tries to go for that Echo, being on very low health, they're just not able to get through it. Mei over here trying to get the best off of that Zarya, and they were almost able to get through them, but they were pulled out by that Life Weaver. Which is going to be very interesting again, because you never see good Life Weavers. But, you know, this is going to be interesting. Each Baylor team member just kind of picking their fights, just trying to stay alive, but also do some good damage. Playing corners, just trying to see if they can survive. And that's the first elimination, I think, our Ana. While that Echo is going to use their ult, duplicating that McCree, they might just get High Noon if they're not careful enough. And I think they're going to use High Noon. They already have it charged, I'm pretty sure. Never mind, they were drawn out of their McCree version. We were not able to get the point. However, we do have a lot of ults that are either ready or about to be ready. I don't know what happened to Soviet Lemon there. They were just looking at the wall for a few seconds, discombobulated, but here we have him going off into this little corridor here. Maybe trying to get some kind of superiority. I really don't know. It's just him and the tank. Pasa over here trying to get some good shots, and the enemy Zarya was able to use her ult. This could just be the death of Zarya, and no, that Life Weaver is just so good. Oh, is our Mei able to defend the point? It doesn't look like it, despite their hard-fought battles. Oh man, this is just... It's always sad to see your favorite team just being pushed up so much that only one person's on the cart, practically doing nothing. In fact, I want to see their perspective. What are they doing? Is it the Life Weaver that's doing this? It's the Juno, and they're just emoting on the point. Anyways, back to the team fight here. Soviet Lemon trying to get some kind of high ground, and with Nano they might just get some kind of kills. They're able to get the Juno, able to get Echo out of the form, and he just has to retreat for health. But I mean, the fight's still not over. Or they were able to at least stop the cart, but are they able to pull it back? Oh, Zarya finally gets eliminated. Freya, enemy Freya going on at the sidelines, trying to see if they can do some kind of damage. Doesn't looks like they were pushed back, but our Maz did get eliminated, having him go to respawn. Let's get a perspective of what's going on. Echo going in from the left side, and it might just not be a good idea to confront them right now, especially with this Zarya, because they are doing bubbles really well. Pasa might have overused their self-ice block. And here we have McCree just getting some free kills here. Just one though, that's a shame. That's when you know you gotta start just training with your aim, because if you're not able to get a standing person like that, at least with the headshot as a McCree, I mean, you gotta work on yourself. And I don't mean to demean our Baylor players, it's just, that's a fact. You gotta work on your aim. I have to work on my aim as a Sigma player, because you have to know when it should bounce off, when it should not, when it should hit the ground, when it should hit directly at the person. So our Mei here just trying to get some kind of damage. Doesn't look like they're doing much, so they're just going to retreat. A good wall though, they might get the Zarya to back off, or at least get some kind of damage, and unfortunately they just go into this small spot here because of that Zarya ult, but they were at least able to get some kind of eliminations. I did hear that Echo going in for Hazard and then doing the Hazard ult, but looks like they were eliminated, so we are doing at least fine right now. And honestly, I mean, considering our other games on King's Row, this is actually kind of an improvement, because we don't go defeated all the way to where we normally go. We actually stopped at the halfway point of the route. So as long as they're not touching the point, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it, we should be fine. It looks like Mei might just use her ult here. It might just be the best decision. We have 3 ults, someone's gotta use them. And once again, we're here in overtime. There we go. Looks like Osiro was able to go gold just in time, and the Mei ult was eaten. That's just unfortunate, or cancelled in the very least, especially with that javelin spear, I believe. And the end of round 1, it's neither good nor bad. I mean, sure, Kansas was able to get to the first point very fast, and to the point that they were actually able to overcome Baylor, in the sense that they could have just had a choke point. I'm gonna use the mouse here, actually. They could have had a choke point right here, but I'm guessing, because we were not able to see this, the enemy team members would kind of use this as a vantage point to then just get the high ground, leaving them now cornered in this little area, and they just have to be forced to go over here. So really well played by Kansas on the first point, but it somehow what's it called, deteriorated to this point here, and we were actually able to defend ourselves really well. Alright, and here we have our Baylor team now going on the offense, and Kansas going to the defense. Any interesting voice lines we're gonna hear? No? Alright.
Five, four, three.
And here we have the start of the game.
Attackers incoming.
It looks like they're not gonna play with the choke like how they were trying to do, or how we were trying to do with Mei. It looks like they're more scattered out, because they know that we might just try to implement some kind of high ground play like they did at the first point. Hostage is barely able to save themselves. And that, like, again, the people on the high ground, they make too much damage. Our Soviet Lemon just got displaced and stuck. Nothing they could do. Okay, now they're starting to lose focus, at least to how they originally started to play. Now they're actually playing the chokehold, like I mentioned. So, at least with the tank, as long as we could just get some good walls in, and we're able to get high ground superiority, we might be able to cap point quicker than they were able to. But again, my apologies, Soviet Lemon gets eliminated right off the bat. And Mei does too. Juno also. So at this point, it is just Maz and Radic. Now, Zarya here might just be a choice that we need in order to advance, but I don't know. It just all depends on how he decides to play the Zarya, which at the moment doesn't look so well. They're able to be anti, but they were just Suzu'd, and they did get some bubbles, so at least they were able to get some charge in. And here we have them almost at full charge. I think it would be a good idea. Ooh. Okay, Orisa is eliminated. This might just be the opportune time to move in, but not with that. Not with that Bob. Did they wake up Bob? They might have, yep, but they got him eliminated. This is the most opportune time for this McCree to get high ground in order to get the best headshots possible in this game. Ah, that's unfortunate. Moss got eliminated by that good Kiriko. I mean, they already counted bubbles. This Zarya might just die. It's just a misuse of bubbles, yep. I mean, we still have a minute and 30 seconds, but at this point, what I would like to see happen is a freeze to discombobulate at least the majority of the enemy team. And then afterwards, maybe use a Deadeye. Depending on how many people we actually get eliminated. As long as we just get a lot of people low, that's all that should really matter. And Soviet Lemon here just trying to combat the enemy tank, but it just doesn't look like it's gonna happen, especially when the mate gets eliminated. That pick just makes them walk in. And sure, we have a Zarya ult, but we need to wait for the rest of the enemy, for the rest of our team to come back. And we'll see what happens here. I mean, and here we go with our tank going in. He decides to go to play Little Room, trying to get some Wu Yang distance, at least from his team. This might be just a good time to use your ult. It is not the most opportune. That is just a quick reset at this point. And our On is just accepting their fate. My apologies once again. No one used their ult, which is very bad. And unfortunately, Maz was actually able to get a touch. And we were able to use Zarya ult, but again, it's just too late. We were holding on to those ults for too long, and that just leads to a Kansas victory.
Play of the game.
Oh, Mascot played the game. Alright, cool. Let's see what he did here. Good headshot. Headshot. Assist, headshot. Oh, that's why he didn't have... Okay. Interesting play of the game. I mean, a very unfortunate use of Deadeye, but, you know, it happens. Other than that, I mean, that's just another loss for Baylor. Currently 2-0, or 0-2 in favor of Kansas. Again, that means we just have a map pick and the first hero ban. Okay, so we're going for a push mode, and we are going to ban Sojourn, which, yeah, Sojourn was a very problematic character, and they were a very dominating factor for Kansas. It is a good idea to ban Sojourn. Now, what Kansas is going to ban, I'm pretty sure at this point, they're very confident in whatever playstyle that they do. So, honestly, I think they're gonna ban. No, okay. No offense. No, okay. Yeah, no offense to Kansas. That's not a useful ban. Honestly, you could have banned someone else. You could have banned. Let's see, we banned Sojourn. You could have banned Juno or Kiriko, which I know both teams use them, but or you could have banned Baptiste because I've only seen our team use Baptiste. So. Anyways.
Welcome to Esperanza. Initiating match.
Again, another map that I've just never played. At least, okay. I did not know that my laptop notified me about that. Okay. Again, another thing that I didn't know, or another map that I've never played at night. Esperanza's always in the day. I've never seen Esperanza at night. I am so sure of that. Again, it doesn't matter which side you're on. Both sides have the same objective. You meet the robot at the center, and you push it to the enemy team's spawn. Whoever gains the most amount of distance or reaches the first spawn first wins the game. Let's see.
5, 4.
I wonder, is this area reworked?
2,
No, not yet. Okay.
Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
So, Soviet Lemon going with Winston, Costa going with McCree, Mas going with Tracer, Riddick going with Ana, and Praise the Kiwi going with Kiriko. Enemy team going in with Zarya, Vendetta, Echo, Lucio, and Kiriko. And we have the first confrontation of the game. It looks like most of Baylor just trying to get to the high ground in order to have a good vantage point. And that Echo is going to eliminate our... I stand corrected. And I also stand corrected once again. I was going to say that the Echo was going to eliminate McCree, but they were able to flashbang them in time. But everyone else just kind of eliminated our team. So at this point, we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. And almost the whole team is overextended to our spawn. Just showing how bad not only their cockiness, but it's kind of a deserved cockiness at this point, because they know that it doesn't matter how much we overextend, it's not gonna be that much of a risk for us. And we have Vendetta being eliminating our support, but McCree able to eliminate Vendetta. Kiriko eliminated, and Lucio also able to get eliminated. This just leaves with Echo and the tank. Good Elam by McCree, and almost a team kill. Practically is a team kill. Able to retreat the robot, and it looks like we got our bearings now. Just again, I think maybe one of the problems is the communication that may be going on between Tank and the rest of the team, especially in the dive factor. It looks like Matri tried to flashbang that Echo, but it was not successful, leading to his elimination. Vendetta is half, but Vendetta also eliminates both of our supports. Maz is just forced to fall back, and Winston also does the same. I don't know if shield was necessary there, but that Vendetta is encroaching on Winston's territory here, so... And here we go, McCree ready with their ult. Our Tracer almost with ult. Almost everyone else is about to get ult. And here we go, Rampage is on. At this point, he's just trying to discombobulate the team as much as possible so that they are confused and don't know what to do against a raging ape. It looks like we were able to get at least one kill, but they in turn get two. So, as long as the Winston doesn't overextend, he might be able to live, but that's exactly the problem here. I mean, I understand that Winston has a high mobility, but you gotta really know when you're able to push and when you can't. And the robot is scarcely approaching that Baylor spawn at this point. We have to stop the robot at any cost. That is just a multitude of ults. That I want to say that's like 5 ults. And were we able to get that? No, we were not able to get that Vendetta ult, but we were able to at least live out this long. But that is going to be a team kill, I believe. It was close to a team kill. That is GG's, and that is a victory, a total victory for Kansas.
Play of the game.
And this is what I meant at almost halfway mark of this game. That Vendetta was able to get, by herself, on very low health, 2 support characters. And yeah, that's I believe that's a well-deserved play of the game. So you can definitely see why now Kansas won that Big 12 qualifier into the CECC. Very impressive gameplay from them. Very strategic plays. I'm pretty sure if I was there in the room, I would hear amazing commentary by them. Or comms by them, my bad. And so, yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't have the tally score of how much Baylor Overwatch has won or lost, but we are very down there. In the meantime, that was the last match. That was GG's. Well played. I am Oscar DT23 signing out. Hope you all have a lovely night and stay safe.